To get some descriptive statistics and histograms, we may need to install this data analysis tool. So I believe on campus, or at least in our statistics room, this should already be installed. But if you're on a personal PC, you may need to install it. If you're on a Mac, it is very different on a Mac, so these directions will not work for you. So this is really just for a personal PC. So if you're on a personal PC and you want to get just descriptive statistics or histograms, then we'll go and install data and data analysis. So let's go over to how to do that. So we're going to go to File and then down to Options and then choose Add-ins and then Manage Excel Add-ins and go and then select our tool pack. So there's our steps. And then click OK, of course. And then we'll go over to Excel and actually do it. So there's our steps of what we're going to do. So let's do it. So I'm going to go over to File and then scroll all the way down to Options. And hopefully you can see that Options button. And then from Options, I'm going to Excel Options. I choose Add-ins. In the bottom of that screen, you can see the Manage Excel Add-ins. And if you don't see Excel Add-ins, you can do the drop down and select Excel Add-ins and click Go. Now you want to check if Analysis Toolpack is selected. On mine, it was already selected because I already have installed it. But if you don't have it installed yet, then you'll have to check that. So check Analysis Toolpack and then select OK. All right, after you do that, you should be able to go to the Data menu and see the word Data Analysis over here. And from there, we can get our descriptive statistics. So I can highlight this data. Remember, use hover in the top of the row and get that black arrow and click to select all the data. And now I'm going to go to Data and then Data Analysis. And I want to choose descriptive statistics. As you can see, there are many things we could do here. We can do our histogram from here. We can do a lot of different tests. But the thing that I want to do right now is descriptive statistics. So the input range, I already selected it, so it showed up right here. But if it didn't show up right here, you would just put your cursor in there and select the header. And it's in columns, and there's a label in the top row, so I'll keep that selected. And where do I want it to land? I want it to land, let's change this to put it right here in C2. So the top left corner will land in C2. And I want to keep it in the same workbook. If you want to put it in a new workbook, you can just select that to go to a new workbook, but I'm going to keep it in the same workbook and put it in C2. And select Summary Statistics. That's what's going to give us all information we want. All right, and then click OK. So label in first row, Summary Statistics, where you want it, and where your data is. And click OK. And it pops up right here, and I'm going to try to make this a little bigger here. And we can get these words, you can stretch the column like this, but a little trick in Excel is that you can go between the two columns and double click, and it will open the column to fit everything that's there. All right, so I got my statistics, but I really want to know the shape of my data before I really look at it, right? Because I don't know what kind of data to use. So I'm gonna make a histogram. So let's go highlight my data again, whoops. And I'll go over to Insert and Histogram. Choose Histogram. And the title, let's call this Men's Height in inches. And maybe I want to change the number of bins. So you can click in this axis down here, and that will pop up this format axis. If it doesn't, you can always click this little green plus button to get over there as well. And we want to go to I want to do the axis though. So I'm going to do axis. Oops, I'm just going to click on it because I think that's the fastest way. Oops. Start over. So I need to start over. I clicked too many things. I just clicked outside of it to start over. I want to click on the axis to edit that, and then this menu will pop up. If it doesn't automatically pop up to the axis options, then you can click on that the 3 green bars and go down to whatever you want to edit. So you can make your bins by category, or what they automatically did 5, or you can decide on the width of each bin. Or you can just adjust the number of bins. I think that's the easiest way. So this data set had 40 units, so maybe I kind of like the 5 bins. It's looking pretty good. But if I wanted to change that, I could change that here and do like 3 pretty easily, and then it recalculates for you. Or maybe I wanted more bins, and I can do maybe 7. And it just recalculates for you. So I thought the 5 looked really good though. So for this one, let's just keep 5. All right, so now I got my statistics and my histogram. Let's close this format box and move this over here. And I see this data looks pretty normal, looks like a bell curve here. So that means I'm going to be using the mean for the standard, the average, the center, the measure of center, and I'm going to use the standard deviation. Whenever I use mean, that goes with standard deviation. All right, another chart that's useful is with quantitative data is the dot plot. The dot plot usually comes before the histogram. With Excel, there's no easy, quick button like there is with the histogram and the bar chart and the pie chart, but we can still do it. So what we can do is make a frequency table, which usually the frequency tables are just for categorical data, but a dot plot. Well, let's talk about what a dot plot is before I show you how to do it in Excel. A dot plot is a kind of like a scatter plot where on the bottom, on the horizontal axis, we have all the possible outcomes. So in this data set, I'll have 2, 4, 5, 7, 2, 5, 6, and 5, just once represented. So let's see, numbers from 2 to 7 looks like. So I'm going to do 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I guess that's it. And then it just counts how many times it shows up in the data set. So if when it shows up once, then it puts a dot. So here's the first 2, so it gets a dot. And then there's a 4, so it gets a dot. And then the 5, and it gets a dot. And then the 7, and it gets a dot. And then there's another 2, but I've already plotted 1, 2, so now I have 2. So on this vertical axis, I have frequency. How often does each data point show up in the data set? And then I have a 5. So the 5, oh, looks like I already had another 5. So I have another 5. And then I plot a 6. So I plot a 6. There's 1 6. And another 5. So now I have 5 popped up 3 times. So there's a dot at 3. So it's not really a scatter plot because it doesn't have a shape, but it just has like a stack of dots where the more dots you see, the more often that those numbers came up in the data set. So it's really like a scatter plot of frequencies. So I need a frequency table, and that's how I'm going to make my data plot. So let's go back over to Excel. And I'm going to make a frequency table. And we did that with a pivot table, if you guys remember from the last recording. So I'm going to highlight my data. We did it with a category before. We haven't done this with quantitative data before, but it's similar. So we're going to highlight the data, insert pivot table from table, and the data I already highlighted, so it showed up right here. And I'm going to do it in the same workbook. I'll just do it right here. And click OK. And then the data that I'm going to count goes into my rows. So all the possible values that came up in this data set shows up in my pivot table once. And I want to count how many times did each of those values come up. It won't be very many because they're such small decimals, but I still want to count them. So I'm going to put it in values as well. But notice with quantitative data, it defaults to sum instead of count. When we did categorical data with the same pivot table, it counted as a default. But I don't want sum. I actually do want count because I want a frequency table. So I'm going to change this by going to that drop-down arrow, click Value Field Settings, and change this to count. And I'm going to call this frequency because I like a frequency table to be called frequency. So you can see this, most of the data only comes up once. Couple things like 65.66, I'll have 2 dots on that one. 66.3, I'll have 2 dots. Oh, 3 dots over here at 68, 4 dots at 68.3. So we'll probably see a little cluster of dots here. That'll probably kind of be the high point of our data. And then you can see it starts going to ones again. So that's going to be the data that we're going to use for a dot plot. But it doesn't let me do it directly from the pivot table. So what I'm going to do is just highlight all that information that it gave me, just the values, not the headers, and click Control C and put it into a new, I think I can actually use these headers, just not the ground total. I'll keep the headers, Control C, and I'll put it into some fresh blank cells. And while it's still highlighted, so I just got it out of the pivot table and on some fresh cells, while it's still highlighted, go to Insert, and then Charts, and then Scatter Plot. So this isn't really a scatter plot. This is actually a dot plot, but it's a scatter plot of frequencies. That's kind of what a dot plot is, as we talked about a minute ago. So this is a dot plot, and you can see on our dot plot, I bet you if I change this scale, because we don't need most of that stuff on the left. So let's change the axis to start at the minimum of 60 and a maximum of 77. I think that's our min and max-ish. Oh, look, I can see it right here on our stats. 61 to 76. So I'll do 60 to 78. Yeah, see, that makes my dot plot a little easier to read. Whoops, didn't mean to do that. I was just trying to zoom in on the screen so we could see it better. Whoops. Okay, and you can see the kind of cluster of points we were looking at where we saw 4. Wait. So we saw 3 at 68, and we saw 4 at 68 point something. I forgot exactly. So usually a dot plot would also have a dot here and here, but as the way we did it, it will only put the highest dot. So that still gives us the shape of the dot plot, and you can see that normal bell-shaped that we also see in the histogram. So I know that this is normal data from that dot plot. All right, so there's an example with normal data showing how to make a histogram, the statistics, descriptive statistics, and a dot plot.